Hi, welcome back. This is Olivia from Kaleidoscope on Relax Radio. So, um, we have the final topic to talk about. Now, we spoke about the history of gender inequality, the stereotypes, the meanings, the pink tax. Basically, we highlighted a bit on the feminism aspect and why feminism is important, even if you are a guy, okay? And basically, now we are here to talk about how to, well, tackle is a very strong word. Let's just say how to mitigate it, how to minimize it, and how to eradicate it. Okay, that's better. Yes, how to eradicate it. For starters, education, and more education. Okay, see, mental conditioning plays a huge role when it comes to a person's livelihood, right? So, if a child is uh, given the idea that they can treat women like crap because either the father treats the mother in a bad way or the brothers treat the sisters in a bad way, this gives a certain level of conditioning which is unfortunate, right? So that's important. It starts with one education where every parent and kid should be given education regarding this in order to break stereotypes and barriers, because it helps people to understand what's going wrong despite them agreeing with it or not. Because the more you teach and incorporate these aspects into their heads and everyone's heads, it'll help them to slowly get used to certain facts, especially when it comes to our older generation. Some of them are a little adamant to change and they want to stick to their sexist ideas. And honestly, to make change takes a bit of effort. Okay, well, quite a lot of effort. So this is why education is crucial. This should be in our syllabuses, be it in UK or wherever you are. Okay, you don't have to be in UK to just know about this, but you can be anywhere, and it's important for us to learn these things anywhere and everywhere we go. And it shouldn't be just textbook. It should be in terms of practices. It should be in terms of speeches that you hear in school. It should be in terms of dramas they perform. And this is just to encourage people to love one another, to be kind to one another, and to not harass and discriminate and demean one gender over the other for the sake of superiority, right? Number two is parenting. See, when you're a parent, you're the most important role in a child's life. Therefore, what you put in a child's mindset is what will basically ring on and on and on, and it will take a toll on their actions, right? So, similarly, you have to be aware of what you say and what you do. So, if you give out, let's say, a very abusive and sexist ideas, chances are your child will be quite the same because he or she is surrounded by those ideas. So, if you're someone who's extra conservative to a point where you don't let your child at least go out once in a while, you don't let your child talk to one boy at least once in a while, you don't let your child understand how society works at least once in a while, then there is already a problem. If you don't let your child work, if you don't let your child study, there's a problem. If you just think your child is a product of marriage and affiliations and connections and making your business expand, well, there's another topic to discuss, guys. Parenting. So, other than that, why do I keep saying that parenting is important? Is because kids between the ages of 2 to 10 tend to imitate on what you do. So, whatever you do is what they will do in the future and in the current place. Okay. So if you abuse your partner, they will learn to abuse people. If you abuse and violate certain personal spaces, they will learn to abuse the same. Okay. Mental conditioning starts with education and parenting. This is why parenting instructions are important for people to change. And sticking to stereotypical aspects it has to go away, because down the line, kids are going to start standing up for their rights and their own gender and others. Because honestly, with this evolving change, which I absolutely love, um, it's important for our parents to go along with it as well, although they may not be so obedient, to be honest. But it's important, okay? And number three, stop child marriage and sexual harassment. Governments, officials, this is proper, like, this is just for y'all, okay? And even for people who want to make change, please, and I think we all should, If we want girls to be able to complete education, we have to end child marriages. We have to seriously address sexual harassments of girls. And Essentially, let's say you are in a situation where you're in an Orthodox family and you have to get married by 16 or 17. Thing is this: child marriage was something that was traditional, and it was something that our ancestors and our parents probably went through because it was a mandatory habit that they had to incorporate in their life to survive. Here's the thing: it doesn't work that way now because people are, even women are more aware of what they want in life and what they don't want in life. Simple as that, right? And therefore, on we need to use the power that we have with the freedom we have to help those who don't have that voice, who don't have that courage to speak up, especially those who are in the rural, traditional, heavily cultured areas, right? For example, in third world countries and any country which strongly encourages child marriage and mutilation of genitalia, these should be banned and these should be taken action upon on serious notes, because if not, things are gonna go downhill, definitely, without doubt. Okay, so this is just one of the ways to tackle that. And number four, make education gender sensitive. Now, when I said education is important, it's not always about teaching what's right and wrong. It's also teaching about how to be sensitive towards each other. Now, see, something that we were taught as kids is guys should be, heartless and they shouldn't show out emotions, and girls should be sensitive babies who will raise babies in the end, right? It's not always the case. Sensitivity towards people creates better empathy, and this is how change can actually initiate itself, because the vulnerability towards someone else's feelings will encourage people to make change, voice opinions, and relate to a personal level, because everyone goes through some sort of inequality in their lifestyle. Okay. And number five, raise aspirations of girls and their parents. We need to give girls images and role models that expand their dreams, and even boys, right? For it's important for both girls and boys to be given role models. So, you could have a sister or mom who's so vocal about her opinions, who's very opinionated. It's important for us to surround ourselves and our children with people, characters who are very opinionated and about the right things, right? About things such as equalizing genders and ensuring that rights are met and violence is reduced and trafficking and rape are approached in the right manner, right? And justice, prevails everything else. And it is important for you to understand that to raise aspirations is to, like I said, one, education; number two, parenting; number three, empowering. So empowering is when mums and daughters should be educated every now and then, or every day if you can, by through to make the right choices on throughout the daily lives, from their young days to school days to their high school days to university days to them whenever and wherever, right? Empowerment doesn't just belong to one particular category. It doesn't belong to only work, where you have to tackle your meetings and your bosses. No, no, no. It applies to everywhere and anywhere you go. Empowering to speak up, to take action when needed, instead of always silencing and hiding yourself away in terms of trauma, in terms of violations, in terms of abuse. We need to be able to speak up and give proper value to what we do and what we are as individuals, right? And number, I think seven, number seven, it's giving value to proper women's work. This is to provide foundation. So the economy has to provide foundation for what women do in terms of the private sector or in terms of communities. It is getting women into power and encouraging them to go forward in terms of building what they need to build to secure and provide safety and power and opportunities for women in the future, especially in the future. Okay, especially for women from the rural areas who are in need of that change because of all the battered idealisms and traditional stereotypes they've gone through. This is something that could really change their perspective on a whole new scale. It'll take some time, but it's worth it. Okay. And number 8, I think, or 9, work together. It's important for people to work with one another, both genders, in order to understand both ideas, both perspectives, right? Sticking to one particular gender is, well, it can take a certain toll because you won't understand the other, right? So you need to have an affiliation with both genders to kind of figure out the rest. I mean, when I say both genders, it applies to all the other genders as well. It's important for us to get along with people on a whole new scale in order to understand their emotions, their vulnerability, what affects them, right, on a mental, physical, emotional, financial way, and what opportunities and threats are there in existence, and what can be tackled, and what can be minimized, and what can be expanded and improved for the benefit of us. Okay. And number 10, I believe, is stop the violence. So, to stop violence means to have laws without intricate loopholes. Okay. This is to provide comfort and safety when walking on a road at 12 in the night. This is having the comfort of being able to take a walk along the beach without being catcalled. This is being able to just want to stay outdoors one day and look at the stars without being kidnapped and raped and violated and murdered and tortured, and part of see, to avoid violence is to other than, I mean, it's not just education, right? It's about the approaches you provide, it's about the conditioning you provide, it's about how often you want your child to understand at the end of the day, whether you want your child to be a perpetrator, or whether you want your child to be someone who encourages their own gender and the other, right? And beware of backlash. See, as much as change is important and change is necessary to, well, change on an overall scale, there's always going to be backlash. So, in order to tackle them on an overall scale, which comes along with sexual harassment, humiliation, violence, this is why all the before factors that I mentioned above is mandatory on an overall scale. So, with that, I am ending my segment, guys. Okay. I'm going to miss you so much. But this was amazing to talk about, and I love talking about these things with you guys. So I'm signing off. Have a blessed, amazing day. This is Olivia from Kaleidoscope on Relax Radio. Stay tuned. And Jamie's coming up with some amazing facts and information regarding some cool stuff, some very cool entertainment stuff, and some goss. Stay tuned because, I mean, why not, right? And just make sure to download our app, Relax Radio, and also follow our social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Okay? Yes, that's exactly it. And just keep in touch with us wherever you go. All right? So take care, stay tuned, and nothing but blessings. All right? Take care. Bye bye.